Hey guys, so it's time for another update. This is a different setup because I'm currently working and I just thought I have a little bit of downtime. I've been wanting to talk to you guys about my health journey anyways, and it just seemed like a perfect time. Happy Memorial Day, by the way. For those of you guys that don't know, these videos, they are more exploratory. They're me trying to describe what is happening as I'm losing weight. And really, it's a record because I do plan on writing a book on this journey when it is complete. So I like to keep track of what happened at what points and describe overall what I believe is happening at the time. That's really what this is for. And I do love that some of you guys love these. So, what's going on? We are headed towards the summer solstice. I feel like it is the end of the crisis point. So, a lot of the journey thus far has been dealing with a really, really severe crisis of health. One where I feared that I would pass away for the greater part of the first year. It was that bad. And currently today, I feel in a lot of ways just as bad as I felt in December of last year. The biggest difference being I felt this way in December. I was barely working. I had almost no energy. I was severely, um, very, very hypo, feeling extremely hypo in December. As we were getting towards that winter solstice, it was really tough. I wasn't able to go to the gym. I wasn't able to do a deficit. I was actually putting on weight because of certain metabolic slowdown, appetite increasing, and just all this stuff at the time. I was like, I am really struggling. And it was through all of those boosts and all of those things that I tried to mitigate how hypo I was feeling in the winter, towards the winter. I now feel the exact same, but I'm in a deficit. I'm going to the gym and I'm continuing to work like nothing. I have a lot of energy, but I have been feeling a lot of this like shortness of breath, which is very hypo related. I have my cough. I've been experiencing some of the obesity related hypoventilation that I felt like in 2021 in the summer. And so I think that there are just a lot of hormonal factors going on where it is tough because I have like 5 layers of fat burning. I probably have a very high amount of polyunsaturated fatty acids circulating in my system. It's causing me to have breakouts. My armpits are totally weird again. It actually got better. So I was talking about how I thought it was fungal. I actually don't think it is at this point. I think it's actually certain things within the sweat or something where it causes an irritation. I even thought it was my deodorant, but I tried, just using the antifungal powder and it didn't help, or it just went away, and then I used the deodorant again and it didn't come back. It's really weird. So it's been really bad right now. I think it's probably the worst it's ever been. And then my skin is kind of more wrinkly, and I have a lot more acne, and just there's all these different things going on where I can feel the burnoff. I even had a little minor skin tag being formed on one of my arms, which the first year I did this in 2021, I got skin tags from the insulin resistance, and I was eating so much carbs and sugar and stuff. But then they fell off towards the fall of 2021, which was a trip when my insulin resistance from being keto and everything went away. So I'm not worried about anything. The thing about where I'm at now is I'm very used to the cyclical nature of these things. I can see how much better I am this year than last year. Like last year, I was going nuts. I had very little self-control. I was like really going wild online. I talk about that a lot. And I was just like wanting to fight all the time. It really put me in this type of state. I was staying up till like 6 in the morning. Like I was on Twitter like all the time, like arguing with everybody. And so it's interesting to think about where I was a year ago versus where I am today, where it's like, yeah, like the fat burning is really strong, but I'm going to bed at 3, not 6, you know? And all these other factors are like less extreme. Like I do feel wild. Like I feel like I want to make some videos attacking FAs and, you know, like maybe I will. I don't know, who knows. But I think it's hitting different, as Taylor would say. I've been obsessed with that song, which I'm still relying on a lot of Taylor Swift breakup songs and Taylor Swift songs to get through like some of the emotional storms, because I find that like repetition and that kind of thing, it can be sort of grounding, because the fat burning and just everything is so intense right now that it's kind of like, whoa. Overall, though, I do feel like the eye of the hypostorm was probably in April. Even how I feel today versus how it was then, I think it was still worse in April. And it's because I think people don't always understand, myself included, being in a deficit is anti-thyroid. Losing fat is anti-thyroid in and of itself. So you have to have a certain level of thyroid health to be able to do it comfortably or even possibly. So for me, like my body fat percentage was so high that I was literally deep underwater. You know, when your body fat percentage is above 50%, it's really, 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 really difficult to lose weight. Those fat hormones and all that stuff, it's so powerful, and it really overpowers your other tissues, and particularly the strength of your thyroid and liver. It's just, you are not meant to be that fat. It's too big. So that's what I was dealing with last year. I was well above 50%. You know, when I got the scale that measures it, I was 55%. And I know I was higher than that this time last year, because I was just really huge. You guys have seen some of the pictures. I was really big, and I really hadn't lost weight until the later summer and fall of 2022. And so where I'm at now is just, I'm realizing this is probably the last really hard point. It's the last point where I'm really going to be suffering with this hypo thing, you know, where I'm in a crisis situation, or I'm really struggling to get through the days. And this is going to crescendo probably around the solstice, you know, when peak fat burning happens, which is really, you know, June 21st, where I'm at. The daylight, it does give feedback, and so that will be the peak, and it will start to wane after that, as well as the lower I get in body fat percentage, the lower leverage the fat will have over the rest of my tissues. It's really crazy to lose weight at this size, and I don't think people understand. And I try to explain it in most of my videos on this channel. I really try, but it's something that people often will just virtue signal about, but they don't understand like how difficult it really is. A lot of people that have been this big, or that have been very, very big, they do understand, you know, the mood effects, the physical effects, you know, the hormone fluctuations. Like all these things do happen really regardless of what diet you do. Like I did keto, and I had a lot of these same feelings when I was losing that weight. It's just that it tended to get worse over time rather than better over time. Whereas this gets better. It's more predictable. It's more cyclical. I know that June will be hard. You know, it's like I knew December would be hard. So I understand these things, and I think just, you know, when I do eventually write a book about this, I want to be able to write out a map and a framework of how to get out of super morbid obesity and how to get out of morbid obesity, because I think that it's just, I always describe it as a pit, and it's like I'm right at the edge of that pit. Like I'm starting to be able to see the top of the pit to get onto ground. And I told you guys in earlier videos, like I've really had to fight very hard this spring. I've had to fight my obesity, and I still have to continue to fight it. And how I fight it is I just, it's a little bit different than April. April was really hard because I was trying to get momentum into motion. So I had to really fight. Today, it's more like just sustaining momentum, just keeping up with everything, you know, keeping the deficit, keeping the gym, keeping this, you know, keeping everything in motion and maintaining that momentum so that I can get out of SMO at least. Which I believe I'd get out of SMO or MO or something. I'm pretty sure super morbid obesity, if I get to like 300 pounds, then I'm out of it. And that's what I need to get to by November. I'm trying to get there by winter because I want to see if it is possible for me to keep going in the winter this year. If not, that's fine. Or if I have to take a short break, that's also fine. Like if I have to take a break for December and January, at the lowest point, I'm not going to fault myself for that. I think there are benefits to taking breaks and weight loss and just kind of like settling somewhere for a while. So I might need to do that anyways. But regardless, it is hard. Like, it's hard work. You know, I've been having really, really weird burnoff symptoms, lots of serotonin things. Like sometimes you feel, like I will feel electric shocks sometimes as my serotonin is going up and down so drastically with the fat loss. And again, these things are so drastic because it's really a drastic weight loss period for me. You know, I got under 50% body fat. That increases your metabolism. My muscle now outweighs my fat. That increases your metabolism. It's June, you know, it's the summer solstice. That increases your metabolism. Like, that's 3 layers. Then you add to that the deficit and the gym. That's 5 layers of fat burning. Like, it's a lot. So I've definitely, like, I have my records. Like, I have lost more fat in May than I ever have in my life. I have never lost this much fat in a single month. It's kind of insane. It's been quite a bit, you know? Like, I'm almost ready for another weight loss update with you guys. You know, I'm at like 46 pounds. When I get to 50, I'll do another one, you know, and I'm continuing to go down. It might happen sooner than later because I do have a lot of weight fluctuation, you know, where my fluid goes up and I swell, like I'm a little bit moony today, and then it goes back down, and it's just like my body is just battling the fat on my body, and the hormones are kind of at war. But it's just so different from other attempts where it was like everything was always going in one direction. It's like all of my stuff I did, losing weight, it was just anti-thyroid. There was no fight. It was just anti-thyroid. Everything's against my thyroid. Whereas right now it's like pro-thyroid, anti, and they're like kind of like, you know, it's like a war. It's like a battle. And as I lose that fat, that leverage against my thyroid it gets weaker, and then the thyroid and liver can get stronger. And it's like, I feel it changing. I really do. One of the biggest things is really having more muscle than fat. I can definitely feel my testosterone increasing. My libido is getting higher than it was before. Like, even being in a deficit, like, I can really feel the difference. And it's actually a good feeling, you know. I think having that much muscle, it's really going to help me to lose the rest of the weight. Like, I think I'm really starting to get more of those male benefits of weight loss, or like male without a lack of a better term, privilege of weight loss, because my hormones are becoming more traditionally male. My body fat is even becoming more distributed traditionally male. So I'm getting more of a pot belly, and my legs are actually going down a lot faster than anything else. So I look 1 part pregnant, which I joke with all my friends, because at the end of the day, I'm still the feminine gay, okay? I'm still the girl in the relationship. So we still say that. I don't have a pot belly. I just look pregnant. I'm just kidding. But 1 part pregnant looking, 1 part pot belly, beer drinker. Look, it's really on fleek. One of my friends is like, start saying on fleek. I want to bring it back. I'm like, fleek is dead. It's dead. But we'll try. I mean, millennials, we got to stick together, but fleek is not on fleek anymore. It's all about understanding the assignment. You thought you ate, etc. But whatever. We're not going to get into that. Point is, I am understanding the assignment. My body is understanding what I was assigned at birth. And it's becoming more traditionally male looking. Like I said, I'm becoming a male fat. And that's not a bad thing for me, obviously, because having more traditionally masculine hormones in a male body, it's so much healthier than being, the queen of estrogen in a male body. It's super not healthy. Like, it is very, very unhealthy for a male body to have that much estrogen. It just does not process it well, and it causes so many issues, which I definitely have been through, right? So again, those male hormones, I'm starting to get those benefits of male weight loss. So I hate to say it, Lisa, but I'm probably gonna overtake Lisa's weight loss very soon. Admittedly, it's not fair. It isn't fair. It's okay. It's okay if it's unfair, if it's in my benefit. Period. No, I'm just kidding. That could totally be taken out of context. I don't really care. It's just fun. I am feeling, I don't know, like, it's funny when you're like the feminine gay and like your hormones are more on fleek, which I'm just gonna say a shout out. You're welcome, Jess. On fleek. My hormones are on fleek. It's kind of like I have all that femininity like a girl, but I do have a bit more aggression, and I enjoy it a lot. It's really fun. It's really fucking fun. So anyways, as you can see, I'm starting to be a little more fun, or I'm starting to feel a bit more fun. So I'm like, hopefully this will stay, like, but we'll see. Things are always in flux with me, but maybe they'll be less in flux. Like I said, as my body becomes more masculine, as my brain does or whatever. I don't know how it'll go. I don't think I'm going to be like, the most butch of butch. I never have been. Even when I was young, I wasn't. I was still always the feminine one. But it's just good to kind of get that part of me back, because it's like, I don't know. It's what I'm meant to be. You know what I mean? That's how I feel. It's like I was meant to be this way. Like, I get along really, really well with men and women at this time, and it's fun. I still love my girls. I always will. I still love Taylor. I'm still always gonna be gay. Period. But it's just interesting to see some of those more masculine sides of me coming back, and it's better for me to not be like crazy menopausal Karen woman vibe. I don't think anybody really wants to be that like trope, even male or female. But it's kind of like I was becoming more typically, like, I kind of went from that Karen mode in 2021 to like becoming more feminine and more like really, really like a girl last year. And then this year, it's like I'm getting back to gay. Like, I'm getting back to being a gay man. And I'm like really happy about it. Just because like it's healthier, you know? This is my body. So it's just kind of interesting to think about how it affects you, I guess. Because people don't, I don't know. You know, it's not just me. Like, this affects straight men. This affects straight women, you know? Like, it affects everybody. It affects lesbians, you know? It affects everybody. Like, when your hormones are kind of out of sync and you're just so hypo and so unhealthy and you're so this and so that, and especially being so within obesity, I do think it can cause you to lose your edge, you know? Or as the new ages would say, you lose your polarity a little bit and your attraction. And that's relevant to me, you know? I'm trying to find somebody. So anyways, that's what I'm thinking about. It's definitely, like, I feel a bit more social. And, like, I feel more open to people than I have in a long time. I think it's coming to a close, like, this crisis point. And so it's really exciting. Just because it's like, gosh, like, my crazy psycho, really intense tendencies of hypo, it's turning into like sad girl autumn edition hypo, which is like cute hypo. So it's like such a better step. I hope you followed me. I know this is crazy. I'm still figuring it out. But I think so much of our hormones do affect how we orient ourselves around others and our relationships. And it stands to be researched and eventually written about. I will definitely write about this, you know? There's going to have to be a chapter on it, on hormones and relationships, because I really think it does affect things. I haven't even really been fighting with my mom anymore. I haven't really been fighting with anybody. It's kind of crazy. Anyways, you guys, that's everything. I will see you guys again soon. I hope you enjoyed this. I will talk to you guys again later. Have a good rest of your day, night, whatever. And let's do this thing. Bye.